I'm Amy, this is the Opinionated Woman, and welcome back to yet another gay pride video. I wish I was one of those people that had like little intro songs, you know, like Curtis Connor's podcast. Anyway, today we're talking about dating as a gay, dating gay, all of the trials, all of the tribulations, all of the rewards, all of those kinds of things. So when I came out, right, this was the first time I was really dating, like properly dating for the first time. So ever since I started dating, I think I had my first boyfriend when I was 14. I have been, like, I dated guys that were from our brother's school that also used to row because I used to spend all of my time rowing. And the guys were around and they were muscly because they were rowers. And then after that, I sort of just picked guys, definitely picked them, like I've mentioned in my other videos. I picked guys that were convenient. They were there. They were someone that I could attach a feeling towards without actually addressing the fact that I felt feelings of friendship towards these guys, or I just attached a feeling of like needing validation to these guys. So I hadn't really gone out and met strangers for the first time ever. And I've had so many people, like even my gynecologist said this to me. I'm not even kidding. My gynecologist said to me, because I told her I was a lesbian, and she was like, oh yeah, I think a lot of us wish we were that sometimes. And I was like, first of all, oh shame, you must have a really cuck husband or have like dating history or whatever. But I am here to say that that is bullshit. Guys, people are people, and regardless of whether they're a man or a woman, they are just as complicated to date. Let me tell you, I have been made to cry by so many girls. It's just one of those things. People are people, at the end of the day. I just hoped that I would have a better outcome, because now I was finally dating the people that I was attracted to all along. So there's also a lot smaller of a pool. There's a much smaller pool of queer women than they are of straight men or men who date women, you know? So it wasn't so much oh, there's that guy, I find him attractive, he's probably straight, which is a bad thing to presume in the first place. Now I have to go oh, I find that woman attractive, I wonder if she's straight. And yes, I have had straight girl crushes. One straight girl crush. I've had one straight girl crush in real life, and I'm like, I'm not about it. I'm not about it. I am not here for the straight girl life. It's just waiting for heartbreak. So I started with dating apps, as I think I've mentioned before. Going from TikTok, I knew that I needed to be brave. I needed to message first. I needed to be proactive, basically. So I started swiping on these dating apps, and I learned very quickly that there were certain warning signs that I needed to pay attention to, because when I was dating men, I ignored so many red flags, like glaring red flags, that I was like, Amy, why did you not pick up on that? Come now, you could have saved yourself so much heartbreak. So as I'm swiping through these dating apps, I'm realizing so many people have literally just profile pictures, and I'm like, girl, or MB, person, I am not going to swipe on you just for a pretty picture. I can't connect with a pretty face. And then if I was going to be messaging that girl, which I would always do if we matched, there was nothing for me to talk about, because I would make the conscious effort to go onto this girl's profile, read through it, find the thing that made me like spark an interest, and then message them directly about something that was in their profiles, you know, just to show them that I like actually gave a shit about who they were as a person. So I started doing that, and I started also becoming familiar with these red flags that I mentioned before. So alcohol being mentioned first thing in their line of their bio. If anybody had any substance as the first line in their bio, I'm like, ooh, this is trouble. And I'm not here to say, you know, to talk down to people with addictions, because that's not the case. I have my own personal experience in this. But at the same time, I'm in a place where I need to also think about myself, and I can't handle someone's addictions, especially if they are not realizing that it's a problem. So as soon as someone's like, gin, beer, wine, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, is there not anything more interesting about you that you could put in first? Maybe put wine at the bottom, you know? Wine goes underneath, you know, I love my family, you know, something like that. So yeah, as I went on a few dates from dating apps, and as I said before, I found my first girlfriend on Bumble. But because of going on these dating apps, I learned for the first time what ghosting was like. And I know ghosting is not solely for the queer community in the slightest. It just so happens that this is the first time I ever dated. So I had to deal with ghosting for the first time ever. And oh my God, my poor little heart. I learned over time not to take it too personally, because everyone has their own shit. But oh my word, after investing all of this time and effort with this person to then be dropped or even stood up on a date or something like that, I've had multiple women do that to me, or go on one date and then they're like, oh, by the way, I'm not looking for what I said I was on my profile. And I'm like, guys, can you just be straight? If you want to hook up, say you want to hook up. If you want a relationship, say you want a relationship, you know? So I was getting so stressed out by these things. And I realized that a bad habit that I have is as a result of social media. So you start talking to this person, you get their social media, maybe their Instagram, their TikTok, something like that. And then I could go through them, and I could go through all of these pictures of this person and all of these TikToks of this person and make a whole story out of not even meeting this person in real life. Just a fantasy based on the really limited things that I knew about this person and the things that I had seen on their social media. And we all know social media is constructed. Social media has the things that you want people to see on it. So that's not actually a true depiction of who this person is. So I fell into that trap a lot of getting really, really fantastical about these people that I was meeting and these potential relationships, and because I'm a romantic at heart. I am a super duper romantic. So I would immediately be like, oh my God, I'm going to be in love properly for the first time ever. And we're going to, like, I would find out their dietary requirements, or like if they were vegan or vegetarian. I'd be like, oh, if we lived together, I wonder if we'd cook the same meals all the time. Literally before meeting a person, for crying out loud. But I think that is, the lesbian U-Haul stereotype is a thing for a reason. But it was just one of those things that I had to realize, like, no, okay, pull it back. Let's talk to this person in real life before you go delving into their entire fucking back catalogue on their TikTok or something like that. So all of this made me have to overcome my social anxiety, because I had definitely fallen into the trap that guys make the first move, guys ask you out on dates, guys are going to kiss you first, all of that kind of thing. And even in a straight dating situation, these are bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. There's absolutely no reason why a guy needs to be responsible for all of these things. But I have social anxiety. These things made it easier for me to sit back and relax and just chill in like a villain, and be like, oh, well, they have to do all of the work. Well, now that I removed men from the equation, I was like, oh, shit, I got nowhere to hide now. So I had to start overcoming those things and not falling into the heteronormative presets that we are told to fit into as a society, you know, like with all of our specific gender roles. Because these are just made up. All of the gender roles that we prescribe to today are made up. And especially when you're in a queer relationship, none of these heteronormative norms actually fit us. And I had to come to terms with that very fast. The only time I'd ever asked out a guy, I got turned down because he liked someone else in my hockey team. And from then on, I had never made any kind of move. So when it came to women, I had to make sure that I did that. I had to make sure I was asking them out on dates. I was, planning a cute little get together. Like I'm actually making some kind of effort, and I am being very emotionally open, because that's another thing. I think with dating guys and the stereotype of guys not being as emotional, I would always try and keep my emotions under wraps, even if I was feeling a certain way or thought I was feeling a certain way to this guy. I would keep that under wraps because I was thinking, no, guys don't like women who are too in your face. They don't want you to be too forward or anything like that. And now I'm like, you know what? If I'm feeling this for this person, yes, if they don't reciprocate, it's going to hurt. But if I don't tell them how I'm feeling about them, I'm always going to be protecting myself from something that I'm never going to be able to experience. I'm never going to find any kind of close connection if I keep my emotional cards so close to my chest. So I would much rather put myself out there and risk getting hurt than always stay in the safe zone and never feel anything, if you know what I mean. So the final thing that I'd like to bring up in this dating gay scenario is polyamory. So before I started dating women, I mean, I know polyamory is present in all sexualities, but is very prevalent in queer communities. And I started meeting so many more poly people as I was dating and all things like that, and it was very confusing. Because in my very uneducated mind, polyamory was very much we're not looking for commitment. We want to have, multiple casual partners, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with. But that is not all that polyamory encompasses in the slightest. So by getting to know people, by educating myself, by talking to polyamorous people and watching videos by other polyamorous people, like Stevie Bobby or Cat Black, I actually found out that polyamory is just not having a monopoly on someone else's emotions. If there could potentially be another person that can make your partner super happy, why would you not want that for them? So that's sort of what I started to learn, is that in polyamory you can also have love. And you can also have a serious relationship, where I learned the term nesting partner, which I think is the cutest term in the whole world in hierarchical polyamory, where your nesting partner will be the one that you live with, and that will be the highest priority. And this has opened a whole new world of dating to me, because I've never thought, oh, I would want another relationship outside of the relationship I'm currently in. But I've never had the experience of being with someone and then meeting someone and even having the perception that I could explore a spark that I felt with this person. And though that hasn't happened yet, I'm a lot more relaxed and open to that sort of thing happening in my life, whereas before I would be 100% no. Which is very strange, because I have been cheated on multiple times in so-called monogamous relationships, and had much less communication with my partner that in a monogamous relationship than I could potentially have in a polyamorous relationship, where instead of keeping something quiet and going behind my back, they could have been like, I have feelings for this person, I'm going to date them, is that okay with you? Which I think is completely refreshing. And it's really that realization is really one of the things that has been the biggest difference between me dating men and now dating women, is finding out that I can shrug off all of these preconceived ideas that I had about what dating is and what dating how it needs to go, like the timeline and the like restrictions that I put around myself. And I could actually realize that there are other ways to live that I can decide, I can choose, I can tailor to exactly what makes me feel happy, so that I can have relationships that are the most fulfilling and suit me the best and make me happier in the long run. So yeah, that's generally all I wanted to talk about in my dating gay kind of thing. Basically, I just want us to have the freedom to love the way we want to love and expand our way of thinking past the rules that we set for ourselves. Whether you're straight or queer, maybe think about these things a little bit, because even in a straight relationship, these things don't need to apply to you. You can do whatever you want when it comes to dating. You can make it fit whatever makes you feel most comfortable and whatever makes you feel the most fulfilled. So yeah, please let me know what you thought of this video in the comments down below, and your kind of feelings about dating and all of the social constructs that we hold ourselves to. If you like this video, please do give it a like and maybe a subscribe. If you'd like to support my content, I also have a Ko-fi account. It'll be linked in the description box down below. It's a little virtual tip jar, just to let me know that you're here and appreciating my content. And also, tickle my bell for notifications every time I upload, and I'll check you in my next one.